It's time for some hoops at FedEx Forum, home of the Grizzlies, and we're bringing it to you live on 2K Sports. Well, the holidays always bring us some incredible NBA action. That's certainly what we have in store for us today. Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin Harlan with partners Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. A quick check of our starting lineups. State Farm shows who will hit the floor first. And as we take a look here at Marc Gasol, guys, what do you think?
You know, it's amazing. You think about the name Gasol, you think of Powell, but Marc is the one who made the All-Star game a year ago, not Powell. So he's become an excellent player in his own right. Great passer off the high post. He's got the strength to go down to the low block and beat you up down there, and he rebounds the ball extremely well.
He just takes up a lot of space with the screens he sets and his body. I mean, the way he gets into people out and inside the key, it just takes its toll on players he's going up against.
Let's take a look at Dallas. They know this is the type of game they need to win if they're going to take the next step. Facing a closely ranked team, no clear underdogs based on the tail of the table.
Seeing where the Mavericks are, they've got to do something to create some momentum, to light a fire under themselves and break out of the middle of the pack.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I'm not sure that that's something they actually have in them. I don't think there's enough talent and enough chemistry on this team to really push forward.
Coming out of the Southwest Division can be extremely tough on teams. I mean, last season, no different, as the Mavericks had to go up against a very, very tough division last season.
And that one's good. Randolph's got his first basket of the night. Doris Burke had a chance to catch up with head coach Lionel Hollins. And Doris, what'd you find out?
Well, Kevin, he said that they didn't want to take what the defense gave them tonight, saying we need to play our game. I told my guys to go right at their defenders and make plays happen. If we sit back and don't be the more aggressive team, we'll just be digging a hole for ourselves. Sounds like they have confidence in their ability to score, guys.
Appreciate the report, Doris. So, Steve and Clark, how does their offensive strategy fit into this matchup?
Well, I think they want to dictate the tempo, and that means running and moving the ball efficiently.
And with their style of play, Steve, the offense they run, I expect this game to be played on their terms. They're going to assert themselves and play it their way.
You're right, Clark. Spurs were great. Memphis was solid. Mavs ended up third in the division, even though they played, fairly good basketball season long as the defending champion. It is a deep division. Steve, one of the best, I think, in the NBA.
And now Anthony Davis has arrived in New Orleans, so it's just going to get better and stronger. So it's no joke playing in the Southwest.
And the foul called on Sean Marion. That is his first foul of the game. And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Here's Conley from 13 feet. It goes down. Conley's got his first points in this one. Mayo kicks to Nowitzki. Carter. One-hand jam.
Throwing it down with one hand and making it look easy.
Easy and fun. He just thrives on making the D look silly.
Yeah, which is something he does pretty often, Kevin.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Sprite. Good stuff. Well, it was the Dallas Mavericks in their last game, a loss to the Heat.
And what stands out from that game, Clark, is that they let a lot of points slip through their fingers at the free throw line.
Yep, and I think some doubt started to creep in as well when they kept missing their foul shots. Guys seem to tighten up and start alligator arming those things.
No luck.
Well, those chances are almost always 2 points for him. I guess the defense did what it had to do to bother him. You know, you look at Lionel Hollins, and I'm so impressed with the job he's done. I actually played for him way back in 1988. He was an assistant coach with the Phoenix Suns. That was my rookie season. And he was just a really good guy to play for. Worked hard, has a nice way about him. Kind of a player's coach. Really has a good relationship, a good feel for his player.
Dante Jones, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Conley, the pass to Randolph. Shot is blocked. Gay gets it to go. And this game is tied up now. Mavericks have gone 4-7 from the field, shooting over 50%. And this Grizzlies team, up and coming in the West, certainly. You've got to give Coach Hollins, Steve, a lot of credit for their success.
Well, what he's done is he's given this team an identity and a style, and that's so important in this league. You know, what Memphis is, they're an inside-out team. They're tough, they're blue-collar, and they're going to defend every game, and that really comes from their coach.
Dallas has gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Oh, and the dunk by Jones.
flawless alley-oop that time. That's some real stylish basketball there.
Almost looks like a play they've been rehearsing for a while.
Well, that's the beauty of the alley-oop. It appears that way, but really it's just timing and sort of an innate sense of awareness between two teammates.
And slam dunk by Allen.
He would not be denied on that one, no matter what the defender threw at him.
Yeah, he needed just a little more effort to make that stop.
I don't know. I don't think any amount of effort would have done it. I mean, that guy was flying to the hoop.
The Grizzlies have gotten 6 of 11 shots to go down so far. Pretty nice shooting.
And no question, the three-point shot was the difference in that game, fellas. Their percentage from downtown was outstanding.
Yeah, I know that's something you can appreciate and it makes you smile, doesn't it, Steve? It's one of the better team performances you're going to see from beyond the arc.
Well, that's my game, Clark. You know that.
Sean Marion, he's checked in for Dante Jones.
Well, when you talk about Tony Allen, you know, he can be such an erratic offensive player. In fact, back in Boston when he was with the Celtics, a lot of people called him trick or treat because you never knew who was going to show up on a given night. But he's really become an important player on this Grizzlies roster.
Now here's Nowitzki following the shot by Rudy Gay. And that one's good.
He exposed a flaw in the defense. No way they're supposed to be giving him that shot.
Conley kicks to Gay. Gasol. Defended by Kaman. Fades away. That's good.
You know, and getting back to Tony Allen, guys, I mean, his aggressive physical style has really become a part of the team's identity. They call it grit and grind. I love that. His emergence has really coincided with this team's rise in the Western Conference's pecking order. Boy, he's been so cool out there, composed, never rattled. I mean, a very steady contributor to the offense.
Now here's Conley coming off a stellar performance against Milwaukee.
That's his first personal foul, third team foul.
Right side, Conley. Allen outside. Rudy Gay on the wing. Cans the shot from the wing.
You're going to have a heck of a time finding any flaws in his approach to the game offensively.
There's the feed to Carter. A 3-ball, and that one's good. Carter's got 12.
This is an interesting matchup. Neither team has been able to get an edge.
I tell you what, it's been enjoyable to watch this one. I mean, they haven't given an inch to each other, and neither side is backing down in this one.
Allen's shot is off.
Boy, he blew the easy 2 by profiling, trying to look good. That's a bad decision and poor execution.
Shot by Mayo is no good. Here's Conley. Can't get it to go. A nice first quarter of play. We've seen plenty of offense so far. Mavericks lead by 3. And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Mavericks?
Yeah, this team is on the same page, no question. They're right where they need to be offensively.
And they're hitting their scores with on-time and on-target passes, too. That's fun to watch.
So with Nowitzki sitting on the bench, here's who Rick Carlisle's going with. Carter and Marion fill out the wings. Chris came in out there with Elton Brand, and it's Mayo in at the point guard.
Well, you know what? You really expect him to knock that jumper down when he gets a good look like that. You know, Kevin, it's been 11 years now. It's hard to believe since the Grizzlies moved from Vancouver down to Memphis. And they've had a lot more success in the playoffs as the franchise has settled in and made Memphis its home.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Guys, for Elton Brand, a centerpiece for the 76ers team that dominated the early portion of last season, but less than a year later, his contract amnestied by the team, and now he finds himself on a Dallas Mavericks team that only 2 seasons ago won an NBA title. Brand said he's excited, and that Dallas was the place he was hoping to go. Guys, he's an important part of their front court now, able to play either the 4 or 5 position.
Great skill in that front court. He fits right in. Thanks, Doris.
All business there, not messing around one bit. Flushed it right with one hand.
He never does, Clark. He never does.
Well, that's kind of his trademark, those slams like that one.
And Randolph throws it down.
And Kevin, keep an eye tonight on how many plays he keeps alive for his club. Just the way he works, the way he moves, the way he anticipates plays before they happen, constantly looking to get an offensive board.
And you know, Steve, he's as level-headed a player as there is. If there's ever been an occasion when he's gotten flustered, I can't recall it. I've not seen it.
Mayo dishing to Carter. And the shot is good. Carter's got 14 points.
You know, Kevin, they were a step late on their defensive rotation, and that helped them get right to the rim.
Well, you think about Vince Carter in his day, just a real superstar in Toronto, and he gave us maybe the greatest dunk contest performance of all time back in 2000. But those days are behind him. Still a very capable player, but not a highlight reel guy each and every night.
Grizzlies making a switch here. Arthur's checked in.
Well, he gave the officials no choice there. Easy call, went right over the top.
Yeah, he's got to go straight up when he's under the boards in that kind of traffic. You can't chest first into the man in front of you. That's a foul.
Conley, the pass to Arthur. Marion with the steal.
Boy, that was a nice steal there, but he may have been better off just following through with the shot.
Back to Carter. Dallas moving it around. Marion kicks to Carter. Inside, stolen by Gay. Into Marc Gasol. Gets the bucket. Gasol's got 6.
And you know, guys, and you've seen it over the years, one thing about it with the aging former stars like Vince Carter, you've got to try to watch how they operate. Every so often, when the knees are feeling good, they're capable of those throwback performances, but they're not quite as often seen with that type of explosiveness.
Here's Conley. Gets it to go. Conley's got his second bucket of the game to go.
You know, it's a plus to get good looks in the paint, and when you can get them, you got to score them.
He feeds it to Marion. Lets it go from deep. No good. And Memphis the other way now. And this matchup with the Mavericks, it's the first meeting of the season.
Yeah, I think they're a little better than this ball club, and it showed last year winning the season series.
The score now all even. And that's now 6 points for Conley.
And now a look at Vince Carter. He has been filling up the stat sheet for the last month. First in shooting percentage, first in three-point field goal percentage, and he's really worked hard at his offensive game. He ranks in the top 10 in that category, points per game.
I don't think we can overlook the fact that he's the top field goal percentage shooter in the league. I mean, lights out. That's really the only way to describe it. He doesn't miss much.
And it's the Grizzlies with the ball. Steve just mentioned how they won the season series a year ago. That was the way it went against most teams they faced.
True. They were a very hard team to get the best of, Kevin.
And the Grizzlies with some changes. Marc Gasol is checked in for Arthur. And it's Conley in for Jared Bayless. And it's Nowitzki missing. Grizzlies have gone 6 of 10 from the floor here in the second quarter. Randolph dishes to Conley. Back to Randolph. Over Marion. Randolph can't hit.
You know, a lot of people predicted that the Mavericks defense would really collapse without Tyson Chandler last year after he left for New York as a free agent. But their defensive numbers were solid. They were really good. So the structure and the foundation that Rick Carlisle has built has been able to withstand some of those personnel losses.
And there's Marc Gasol on the assist by Allen. That's now 8 points for Marc Gasol.
Well, after a slow first quarter, he's starting to pick it up a bit here.
The offensive rebound, Jones. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And this is a good time to bring you a rundown of the hottest three-point bombers from the shooting guard position over the course of the last 10 games. O.J. Mayo is second.
These are the gunners, guys. They've got the green light at all times because we know what they can do beyond the arc.
Freedom given is freedom earned, Steve. By putting up those kinds of numbers, they've earned their freedom. And at that position, you got a job to do, and they do it well.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Rand's checked in, and so Jones nails both of them. Well, you look at the stats for the Mavs, Steve, and Dallas, the second best team in the West when it came to opponent field goal percentage. Clark, that's a very good mark for them.
Excellent mark, Kevin, and they've come a real long way from when the Mavericks were viewed as a team that only scores and doesn't really play any deep. Rick Carlisle, one of the outstanding coaches in the league, really helped reshape them.
And as Steve said, that's including losing Chandler.
Yeah.
You know, they were able to still play good deep.
That's right.
Randolph gets to Conley. Shot is off. Mavericks leading by 7. The alley-oop pass, and he lays in the alley-oop.
Looky here. How about that one? That play, take that play and put it in the alley-oop textbook for future reference.
Perfectly done. He put it on a platter for him.
He sure did. And how about the touch on the finish, too? That was really nicely done.
The Mavericks have gone 8 of 14 in the second quarter on field goal attempts. In low to Brand. It's tipped. Gasol with the steal. And now the Grizzlies, fast break. Here's Gabe, jams it with authority.
That was a nice, strong one-hand jam there.
Yeah, brought it back and ripped it down.
That's how you do it. That's nice.
Nowitzki for 3. They get the rebound. Here's Marion. Misses it from 7 feet out. Here's Conley. Can't get it to go. And the first half ends in a close one. Mavericks ahead. They're up by 5. Live from the FedEx Forum, you're watching 2K Sports.
Now, presented by Sprint.
This is 2K Sports, and I'm Damon Bruce, coming to you live on a Friday night. For the Dallas Mavericks, they have the lead against Memphis. They're riding that razor's edge of contending and golfing. They're in 8th place in the conference standings. Vince Carter not having much difficulty scoring against the Grizzlies. D. Consistent shooting from the field, making well over 65% of his shots. Not a lot of guys put up a half a basketball like that. And for Memphis, they've really been battling. They've been relentless attacking the rim, dominating in points in the paint, and the bodies down low have been banging away. Tony Allen making an impact in this one. He's got 10 points and some nice plays.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. Look at Vince Carter in this game. I mean, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, no question who's running the show out here. Every trip down the floor, he's making a great pass to set up a teammate.
And the other part of it is they're making their shots, Steve. You can't get assists if you make great passes and guys miss shots. I mean, he's taking over the game with his passing.
Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. So the Grizzlies 5 right now. Rudy Gay, Zach Randolph, and Marc Gasol.
Incredible.
Well, this fella can rise up there with the best of them.
Just a crazy finish, guys.
He's one of the few players with the athleticism to pull that off.
The Sprite replay really gave you a good look at the action.
Well, when you think about Rick Carlisle in his 11th season as an NBA coach, you think about consistency. Believe it or not, he's been to the playoffs in 9 of his 10 previous seasons as a head coach. He knows exactly what he's doing. You just can't let him get that close to the hoop.
Here's Marion. Got it. Good job in the low post. Marion's got 9.
3 for 3. You got to like this hot start in the third quarter.
Allen left side. Kicks to Gasol. Over Kaman. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. And Carlisle on a new contract. His last 4-year contract ending last season, but the Mavs were adamant that he wasn't headed anywhere.
Yeah, Carlisle, fantastic coach, for Dallas. Been a great fit. Earned that 4-year extension with, winning that championship. But I think he has turned into one of the best coaches in the NBA, Kevin.
And he sinks the second.
Well, for a long time, the Grizzlies had been looking for something to build on. But with the core group of players that they have now, I think they have a really bright future. This is a team that defends, they play well together, and they've got really good interior passing as well. Now, still a great start to the half after hitting their first 3, even before that miss.
Gay kicks to Gasol. The jump hook. The second chance effort. It's rebounded by Dallas. After this one, they're off to San Antonio to take on the Spurs. That matchup falls in the middle game of this 3-game trip.
A lot of fans focused on that matchup for San Antonio.
Carter for 3. That's good. Carter's got 17 now. Well, you mentioned the interior passing, Steve. The Grizzlies work so well as a unit. Clark, they can just pick you apart.
Yeah, and they didn't really have huge assist numbers as a team, but Gasol was one of the best passing centers, and Spates and Randolph combined for quite a few helpers as well.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Grizzlies will take it.
A chance here to take a look at where the Mavericks rank in the NBA currently. 3rd in three-point shooting, 5th in free throw percentage. And they are in the top 10 in field goal percentage. This is a team that shows excellent discipline at the offensive end.
And Clark, you talked about the accuracy from beyond the three-point line. And yeah, they're one of the best shooting teams in the league. It's something they work very hard on in practice each and every day. They continue to barrel their way inside. And when's the defense going to adjust?
Well, I'm asking the same question myself, partner. I mean, that's 8 points out of their last 10 coming inside.
And how about the season Marc Gasol had a year ago, guys? He was terrific, made the All-Star team. Excellent passer at the high post, but strong. Can really go down on the block and shoot that jump hook as well. Good solid defense on the perimeter there, challenging the shot and not fouling.
Even the best shooters can be bothered by his defense.
Mavericks leading by 7. Outside Mayo to the inside. Marion passes to Nowitzki. Dallas moving it around. And here's Mayo for 3. It's rebounded by Memphis. Randolph's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. And for Marc Gasol, 4 years younger than his 4-time All-Star brother, Paul Gasol. He's entering his prime. And now he's on pretty equal footing, I think, Frank, with his older brother.
Well, he was the 48th pick back in 2007, and that's pretty strong company to be mentioned in with his brother Powell. So he's different. A bigger center. He's 7'1", 265, a little heavier, and seems to be more comfortable playing with his back to the basket.
Here's Allen, and fouled as he went up to the dunk. Good aggressive move, and they'll shoot 2. That one is on Kaman.
Well, Allen is an elite athlete who gives everything he has when he's on the floor. A lockdown defender who's going to bring it the entire game. You better be ready to play when you go against Tony Allen.
Right, lockdown is correct. His whole focus is getting the ball, whether it's loose balls, rebounds, forcing the ball handler in a turnover, a bad shot, all those 50-50 type things, he is right on it. Looking at who's out there now for the Grizzlies. Terrell Arthur, he's checked in for Gasol. Pondexter comes in for Rudy Gay. And Jared Bayless subbed in for Mike Conley.
The West can be a real difficult conference to navigate. And even though they were coming off a title run, the Mavericks had a lot of trouble finishing over 500 within the conference.
And the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. And what hot hands have been coming from the ranks of the small forwards this past month. A look at the leading shooting percentages for those players. Vince Carter on top.
And when you've got a player like him who can shoot that well, not at center, but at small forward, it gives you a remarkably dependable option every time down the floor.
That is so true, Steve. From 5 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet, his touch is really on target from any distance.
And so here is Dallas. 8-point game. The shot by Marion, no good. And you see it with the West. The first step is just to make it into the playoffs, which the Mavs did. And once there, they felt that anything can happen. Unfortunately, they got swept. But, Steve, I guess that was the thing about last year, just getting healthy into the playoff picture.
Yeah, but what was interesting about that sweep against Oklahoma City, Kevin, was that Dallas really should have won the first 2 games on the road in Oklahoma City. But close games, close losses, and then everything sort of slipped away from there.
That's good from Bayless.
Even after Memphis made that deep run into the playoffs a couple of years ago, the expectations weren't that high for them last year. I'm not sure how seriously this team is taken by NBA fans and media members, but this is a talented group. And remember, Rudy Gay returned a year ago, so that's an excellent starting 5.
It did seem that they were being slept on for most of last season, but lo and behold, Clark, the Grizzlies were able to finish as one of the top 4 teams in the Western Conference.
Yeah, that was a heck of an accomplishment, but unfortunately they still went down to the 5th seed Clippers in a deciding Game 7 in that opening round of the playoffs, Kevin. It was one of the best series of the playoffs, though, and showcased, I think, 2 up-and-coming teams that we'll see contending in the playoffs for years to come.
Mavericks leading by 8. Here's the break. Carter dishes to Marion. That's good. Marion's got 6 here in this quarter.
He didn't need to make the layup complicated. I mean, it's not a trick shot contest, but he decided to go for a little extra flavor on that one.
Here's Randolph. Drops it in from 11 feet. Randolph's got 8.
Offensively, just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
And it's Carter missing. Grizzlies have gone even 5 of 10 on shot attempts in the third. Arthur kicks to Ellington. Bayless. 40 seconds left in the third quarter. And this is his second trip to the line in the game.
And with those numbers, he makes a defender hesitant to get too tight on him. I mean, he doesn't want to get whistled for the foul and put this guy on the line.
That's good from Bayless.
Well, last year was a struggle for Dallas. They lost Tyson Chandler in the offseason. And, the lockout condensed season was tough for them with the age of Kidd and Nowitzki. And I think where it really showed was on the road. Their performance in visiting arenas just wasn't what it was in previous years.
Cunningham passes to Nowitzki, and he drops it in from the low post. Nowitzki's got 6.
Can't pass up that kind of look.
Roden kicks to Gay. Into Marcus All. Kamen's there. Here's Arthur. Up and in on the layup. Now here's Kaman. 6 points for him. Nowitzki dishes to Mayo. Cunningham drains the three-pointer. Cunningham's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Now Bayless. Over Mayo. No good on that last second attempt there. And offensively, a great show for the fans through the first 3 quarters. It's been a fun game to watch.
65.
Matt. The Grizzlies trail by 9. So with Nowitzki sitting on the bench, here's who Rick Carlisle's going with. We've got Jay Crowder. Elton Brand is out there with Chris Kaman. Then it's Cunningham, and it's Boboa in at the point. Conley gets the bucket.
And all 10 of their last points have come inside the paint, so defensively you've got to make an adjustment.
Yeah, and you got to do a little more to stop it, too. I mean, it's coming way too easy for him. At some point, you just got to buck up and say it's not going to happen.
Pondexter, the pass to Conley, and the rejection by Brand.
Shot seems to be a little awry today, just off a fraction. They've got to have him pick it up, though, and soon.
And Boboa kicks to Crowder. It's stolen by Arthur. Roden with it. There's the pass to Pondexter. It's stolen by Boboa. And here we go. The Mavericks on a fast break.
Man, they are both lighting it up here.
Exciting basketball, Steve. I mean, it's been back and forth. Each side dropping in points every chance they get.
From 10 feet out. Good on the shot. And that's 10 points for Conley. Dallas calls timeout.
Well, you knew the Grizzlies were anticipating going deep into the playoffs after they had a nice run to the second round in 2011. They don't seem ready to settle for first-round exits, and they've got the personnel and coaching to be right in the thick of things going forward.
Clark, how about the previous year when they were a number 8 seed, knocked out the number 1 seed San Antonio in 2010?
That's right.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Kevin, over that last break, I got to chance to hear what Rick Carlisle said to his team. It was a pretty upbeat huddle. He said, "I'll bet they won't take us lightly next time, guys." Clearly, he was aware of their underdog status coming into this basketball game, guys.
Thanks again, Doris. Here's Nowitzki. No good. Good D by Gasol. And for the Grizzlies, they had a doozy of a matchup with the Clippers. Steve, you did a couple of those games in the first round. Exciting to watch.
Oh, man, was it ever. I mean, that series went 7 games. Remember, there was the incredible Clipper comeback in the, I think it was game 1 in Memphis. And then for the Clippers to go back to Memphis and win the deciding game on the road, that was really surprising.
After a subpar first half, I like the way he's been much more aggressive here in the second, finding a way to hit his shot and get more shots.
It's Gay with the drive. From 12 feet out. Rebound by Elton Brand. Mavericks leading by 10. Throws up the alley-oop. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Conley inside the line. Nails the wide-open jump shot.
Wow, has he caught fire this quarter. Shooting the ball with... ridiculous.
Tore it down that time. And not much resistance on that jam.
Yeah, defensively, you're right. Not a great sequence.
Well, they lost track of him, and they paid the price.
Special thanks to Sprite for that sweet replay. Chris Kaman's checked in for Dallas. Gay, guarded by Marion. Gay drives in. Another shot. And Allen with the layup.
They can't seem to stop anybody inside.
They got to know that if they don't make life tougher in the paint, the opponent is just going to keep going there. I mean, it's not like they'll get tired of all these in-close opportunities.
Nowitzki against Randolph. There's Chris Kaman on the assist by Nowitzki. 8 points for Chris Kaman. The Grizzlies trail by 10. Now here is Conley. Second chance shot. Nice shot by Randolph. And he's now got the double-double. 10 points and 11 rebounds.
He will fight you down low, guys. Really battles in there. He comes up with a lot of second-chance buckets.
Kaman against Conley. Allen. Rudy Gay on the way. Over Nowitzki. That's good from Gay on the assist by Allen. Allen's got his 3rd assist on the night. Here's Mayo. Good work defensively by Conley.
I think he's been fighting his shot a little bit. He's not getting many of them to drop right now.
Here's Randolph. Hits it. Well done in the second effort.
He's been producing all night. It's up to the rest of his team to start kicking in a little bit.
Kaman a screen on Conley. Carter defended by Gasol. Kaman kicks to Carter. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Grizzlies will take it.
Got sloppy in a close game. You have to take advantage of every opportunity.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're trailing by 4. We've got 1:18 left in the fourth quarter. Mavericks take it the other way. They've led by as much as 10. And it's Carter penetrating from 12 feet out. Marion, the kick out to Mayo. Here's the 3. Hits the bucket.
He's starting to heat up from outside. That's his second this half.
The Grizzlies have got a pretty good rhythm going offensively, shooting 8 of 15 for the quarter. Conley kicks to Gasol. Buries it. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
And defensively, you've got to try to keep the ball on the perimeter.
Yeah, he's not going to miss those, not often anyway. The defense has to muscle up and deny him that position to have a chance.
Here's Carter. Tries again. And it's going to be a goaltending call here, so they'll count the bucket.
and they add to this lead, trying to close this game out.
I think it would take a lot of luck and maybe then some. I mean, might be time to pack this thing in.
Outside Gasol. Tipped away. Back to Conley. And it's out of bounds. The Grizzlies able to retain possession here. Timeout called. The Grizzlies. They're behind by 7. There's 18 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, this one's out of reach, so I'm not sure why they're calling the timeout here. Maybe just to try to work on something, maybe an out-of-bounds play or something.
Well, they might as well talk about what movies they want to see or what they want to surf on the internet, because this one's done, boys.
And stolen by Spates. Ellington dishes to Spates. Ellington kicks to Selby. It's in!
And my goodness, that one got him going.
Did it ever? They're on cloud 9.
What an atmosphere in here. This is incredible.
And now we've got the intentional foul.
Yeah, no question, the right call at this point. You can't let them just dribble it out.
That's right. I mean, you got to send them to the line and hope for a few misses.
And he misses the first one. Both teams deciding to change it up. That's good, going 1 of 2 from the line, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Here's Conley. Can't get it to fall. So it's a narrow victory for the Mavericks, pulling out the W. Well, they don't get much more exciting than that, Clark.
They sure don't. And when it was gut check time, this team kept their composure, kept their emotions in check, and got it done.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Vince Carter.